Hello students, a very warm welcome to all of you once again in this video of Mizo Study video classes. So, what exactly we are going to understand or discuss or you can say in this video that is variation in G value. So, you know already we have discussed the meaning of small g, its importance and its expression. And if you try to recall in those previous videos, every time I mentioned that the value of small g is not constant. It keeps on changing with respect to various parameters. So, our today's focus is going to be the variation in the value of g. When after passing out your class 10th, you will reach in class 11th, and if you will opt physics as a subject, I mean if you will opt for medical stream or engineering stream, you will take science and mathematics as a subject, then in class 11th you have to perform one experiment in which you will measure the value of small g, that is acceleration due to gravity, in your laboratory. Fine, maybe your school is in Delhi, maybe in Chennai, maybe in Dehradun, anywhere. So, you have to measure the value and then you have to mention the standard value and variation. So, I hope at that point of time you will realize the importance of that particular topic. Till now, I mean in this class 9th we will only discuss some basic parameters. Fine. So, first question comes in mind, on what parameters the value of g depends? Number 1. Number 2, how it changes. Okay. So, let us start this discussion. What I will do, I will explain, I will try my best to explain in a very simple manner. Fine. So, the value of g, that is acceleration due to gravity, is not same means constant, but keeps on changing with respect to various parameters. Fine. So, I think I should simply write down keeps on changing in terms of various parameters. I am using the language which is simple and suitable for a class 9th student. Fine. Now, definitely in your mind a question will come, what are those parameters? Because the only two visible parameters in the expression are mass and radius of the planet. So, about which parameter the teacher is talking about? So, now please come on to the discussion of this topic. So, here the formula of small g is Gm, and you know, if you are regularly watching our videos, the value of mass of earth I explained, the radius of earth in meters, everything I explained, and that is why always I love to request you all, please keep watching our videos, because every video is in continuation with the previous one, somehow it is connected. Now, just watching this, you can say g is constant, universal constant, accepted. Mass of earth, so it is also constant, because it is not like that mass of the earth is changing, but it is not like that, it is changing. How? I will tell you. Radius of the earth, so how the radius of the earth will change? It is same, 6400 kilometers. Now, here comes the you can say some sort of confusion in the mind, that why I am talking about change in the value of g. Capital G is constant, capital M is constant, capital R is constant, then why the teacher is talking about like g is changing? Fine. So, let us come on to this aspect. See, this formula is a specific version, it is not actual formula. First thing, this we use, it is true, it is applicable only at the surface of the earth. I am saying this only at the surface of the earth. I think I should mention also, only at earth surface. But here again a problem, you know, I think in civics you must have studied that there is one point associated with the earth is equator, then there are two poles, north pole, south pole. Fine. On south pole there are penguins, on north pole there are polar bears. Fine. Equator is passing through Africa continent. So, I am sure you must have studied all these aspects. Fine. So, only at surface, only at earth surface, but here also some confusion. So, this small g is not as small as you are considering, it is really a very big thing. So, first aspect is, as we move above the surface of earth, as we move above the surface of earth, the value of g decreases, always decreases. Fine. Now, you may say, sir, you used in expression r, that is radius of earth, but you are saying as we are moving above the earth's surface, then value of g decreases. So, as such there is no term associated with the height. That is why I said this formula is a specific version only, this is not the actual formula. As per our convenience, we are using this specific form. The actual formula is like this. Yes, what exactly the issue? Issue is, normally I am preparing this video, you are studying the topic in your school, you are performing some experiment, someone is sitting in United States of America, I mean everyone right now on the surface of the earth. That is why this formula is in general useful. But let us say for example, imagine some scientists are going onto the surface of the moon or Mars or Jupiter, then for them the value is not going to be same. So, it is applicable for almost every person on the surface of the earth, that is why this formula we generally use. Fine. So, value of g decreases because g is equal to gm upon r plus h whole square. This is the actual formula. Fine. But I am right now on the surface of the earth, or you can say I am on the 5th floor of a multi-story building in which this studio is situated. So, height of this you can say 5th floor from ground is like just 50 feet or so, that is roughly like you can say 15 meters or so, 16 meters like that. Fine. So, comparatively to 6,400 kilometers, this 16 meters is negligible. If I have in my pocket 10,000 rupees and someone in front of me has 5 rupees, so compared to this 10,000, that 5 rupees is meaningless amount for me. Similarly, this height at which right now I am preparing this video, it is just 15-16 meters from the ground surface. So, comparatively to the radius of the earth, this distance is negligible, that is why I neglected. But imagine, let us say I am sitting in a rocket, I think one Delta rocket or PSLV, Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle launched by ISRO, fine, normally. So, if I am sitting in that, if I am going to Mars, that was I think Mangalyaan, fine, the name given by the scientist was Mangalyaan, India's Mars mission. So, if I am in that particular rocket, so I am moving. Now, after traveling for long time, obviously my distance from the surface of the earth is going to be large kilometers, and comparatively to 6400 kilometers, that large distance is comparable, you cannot neglect that distance. So, that is why I said this formula is applicable. Now, imagine if h is increasing, so r plus h will increase. Listen carefully, I will write down, but first listen. If h is increasing, then r plus h will increase. So, square of this term will also increase. So, denominator more, so this result is going to be reduced, fine, because mass of the earth I left for Mars. So, mass of the earth is going to remain same, I have not carrying any amount of substantial amount of the mass of the earth. So, this is the reason that if I am moving upward, then acceleration due to gravity keeps on decreasing. Moment I will reach large heights, then this value is going to be almost negligible. Let us say the distance is, say for example 3 lakhs kilometer. So, 3 lakhs plus 6400, now 6400 is meaningless. So, 3 lakhs when you will divide this term gm by 3 lakhs kilometer, so g value is like 0.0000 something, which is meaningless, fine. So, now just allow me to write down these points. If h is very greater than r, then g will reduce. I think this much is sufficient for you to understand. Now, this is the story. I think I should also draw a diagram to explain it, that is surface of earth, fine. And from this point a rocket has been launched, and rocket is going to like move, fine. So, this is the radius of the earth, and this distance is very large comparatively to this radius r, therefore, the value of g will reduce. So, this is case number 1. If they ask, I mean in examination it has been asked, you simply mention this result. Now, why to move away from my earth surface? I am on the earth and I am enjoying my existence, okay. So, what I decided let us prepare a tunnel inside the earth, fine, and then try to move inside. That was first case, and this is, I think I also erased this out, because this first point which I elaborated is simple for you to visualize. And now, let us go for the second scenario. So, second aspect is, imagine, first I am giving you a diagram, this is earth, okay. This is center, this is r, radius of earth 6400 kilometers. So, multiplied by 1000, I did it in my 2 videos continuously. Now, let us say someone started digging a tunnel, fine, and now the person is here, okay. So, in this scenario, if the person is going inside the surface of earth by digging a hole, a tunnel, then value of g will again reduce, fine, value of g will again reduce because mass will reduce. Why? Reason is simple. This sphere is now important. Not this sphere, this is meaningless, fine. So, you can say I myself reduce the size of the earth. Why? Because I am inside. Fine. If two friends are going together to enjoy some ice cream or cold drink or something like that, in the pocket of one friend there are 100 rupees. In the pocket of another friend is, say for example, 20 rupees. So, 20 rupees means that person do not have 100 rupees to invest, and this 100 rupee person can invest 80 rupees more. So, that is why if I am inside at this place, then this entire mass is meaningless for me. For me, only important is this particular mass, which is now reduced. So, size of the earth is also reduced. Now, this much is Re minus H. Minus H means, let us say this gapping is H. So, this much gapping is R minus H, and mass is also going to be reduced. Fine. So, here I am writing, if we are going inside the earth, then actually the mathematical derivation is beyond your course. That is why I cannot use those expressions. I simply can simply write down these expression and elaborate you. This is the limitation of your class standard. Fine. In 9th there is no derivation. So, if we are going inside the earth, then as R and M will reduce, so G will also reduce. Fine. So, these are two important aspects in which you can say the value of acceleration due to gravity is decreasing if I am moving up, if I am going inside the earth. But please try to understand, if we are digging a hole in the earth of like 1 meter or 2 meter, then this expression is not applicable. The depth of the hole should be few hundred meter at least. Fine. It is like that in Delhi, if you are aware, the metro system in Delhi, that is the national capital region. So, one metro station, I think it is Hauz Khas, it is situated 30 meters below the surface of the earth, 30 meter, and it is considered as the deepest metro station. So, if you want to measure the variation in the value of G in that place, obviously very minute difference you will find, but problem is, for this minute difference you need a very sensitive equipment to measure, number one. Number two, this minute change will not do anything that is going to affect your life, that is why you are neglecting it. Fine. Then third aspect, and this third aspect is associated with the shape of the earth itself. Now, third is the value of G also changes due to shape of earth. Now, I am sure many of you will say, oh my God, shape of the earth is also changing. It is not changing, but it is not in the shape with which we are assuming the earth. It is not perfectly spherical in nature. It is somehow you can say ellipsoid. Okay? So, the value of G also changes due to shape of earth, which means earth, which is not a sphere, but an ellipsoid. sorry, ellipsoid. So, how exactly it will change? Fine, let us consider over here. Actually, our assumption about Earth is like this. Like, I will try to make a perfect sphere. Okay, 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 fine, like this. Our assumption of about Earth is like this, which is not true. How exactly Earth looks? As I mentioned, it looks like ellipsoid. It is a scientific fact established on the basis of various experiments. So, somehow shape is like this. So, now you can easily say OAB. So, OA is greater than OB, clearly visible. This is North Pole, this is South Pole, and this is equator. So, because Earth is not perfect sphere, so because of the variation in these distances, imagine something else, something else, something else, something else, like that. All these white lines are different from each other. Therefore, in the formula G is equal to Gm upon R square, you can say because this R is changing as per the shape of the Earth, therefore, this variation in the acceleration due to gravity will also come into picture. Now, this is third aspect. Fourth aspect. About fourth aspect, I will say you just remember 2 points in mind: equator, pole, and you know there are 2 poles, 1 equator. Fine. Equator, poles. Now, equator means you are exactly here, and pole means here or here. Imagine OA is more than OB, semi major axis, minor axis type of condition. So, it is from this fact, it is also true that as you keep on moving from equator to poles, the value of acceleration due to gravity will change. Fine. So, I think I should write down over here, from poles to equator or equator to poles. From poles to equator, G is not, I am writing not, please underline 3 times, not same. Fine. So, students, this discussion I tried my best not to use any mathematical expression. I just tried to make this entire explanation so simple that a class 9th student can understand. Fine, that is why I used basic formulae, some diagrams and some explanation in the form of a story. So, my simple point about this particular video is, this video is associated with the variation in the value of G due to various factors, moving up, going inside, moving from equator, moving from Africa, going to where, Alaska, yes, like that. Fine. So, you will find change in the value of this G. I would like to suggest one activity to all of you. Whenever you have time, you can search on Google or in your books and try to find out a peculiar place situated in South Africa. Fine. It has the value acceleration due to gravity is opposite, changing oppositely. You just have to look like this. There are so many videos associated with this particular aspect, fine, present on the YouTube and other channels. So, you can say, okay, such peculiar phenomena is also associated with this simple parameter acceleration due to gravity. So, I am sure you will enjoy that activity. Well, I think we should not move further in this particular video. It is already very long video. So, let us take a goodbye from your side, and very soon I will come back with a new video on some other topics. Fine. Till then, keep enjoying the revision of these videos, keep smiling, have a nice time. Thanks a lot.